We are now going live on YouTube.
Here's that bag. That blue bag that you bring on his head. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we know it's back on now.
Okay, Devon. You mind standing up? Or did you?
This is our-
Oh, okay.
That's so. Have to actually type in the stuff that we go along, and then put in the stuff. Okay. Mhm.
It is now 2 o'clock. The recording is about to start.
All right, it's 2 o'clock. Can we begin the recording?
Recording has started.
All right, we're ready to begin. Thank you. Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
then let's call to order the July 17th meeting of the Board of Water Commissioners, and let's call the row.
Chairperson Einhauser,
Present.
Commissioner Garcia,
Present.
Commissioner Kenlock,
Present.
Commissioner Coleman,
Present.
Commissioner Forte,
Present.
Commissioner Davis, and Vice Chair Blackman is absent.
All right,
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
we have a quorum, so let's move to the approval of the agenda.
As amended, Mr. Chair.
As amended, we're going to add, after the director's report, item 11A, we're going to add a handout that you've just received, DWSD Easy Pay Program. So is there a motion on the agenda as amended? It's been moved and seconded. Questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's adopted unanimously. Approval of the minutes of June the 18th, 2024. They've been distributed to you.
Move approval with any necessary corrections.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. The approval of the minutes. Any questions, comments, or necessary corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, and that's adopted unanimously. Let us now move to public comments. Do we have any requests from anyone to address the board?
We have two hands raised.
Mr. Chair, we have no one in the in-person audience, so we'll go to the virtual audience. And we have three hands raised. Cecily McClellan.
Ms. McCullough?
Good evening.
Let's go.
And thanks for this opportunity to speak. I have a concern in terms of shutoffs and would like to know whether it's possible to get a listing by zip codes of the number of shutoffs. We are receiving calls from residents indicating that they're suffering or will be shut off. There are sometimes some complications in view of the fact of the water bill, and we do refer them, back, to Wayne Metro to get assistance. But we are concerned that there has been an increase in the number of persons concerned about shutoffs. So if it is possible, we'd like to get a listing by zip codes of the shutoffs. There's an area on the dashboard that indicates the number of persons receiving benefits. And the dashboard for July indicates that it's at 73,000 who have benefited. Well, we took, and May was the last time you actually published this data, and it indicated it was 75,000 in May, and it's 73,000. So it appears that 2,000 persons who had been benefiting have been lost because the numbers are 2,000 less currently. Also, and based on the categories that are available, it's a slight increase in July. In the first category of persons enrolled and benefiting from Lifeline, it's up about 109 people from May. As I indicated, there was no report in June. So the numbers are slightly increasing, but there's been like I said, a 2,000 number drop. So I'm curious to understand how that could occur. And your report and as we have discussed with the water department through We the People of Detroit, there are 1,400 persons that have received conservation audits through Wayne Metro. We would like to know and still would like to know how many of those persons have actually been referred for plumbing. Because when we view the Wayne Metro webpage, it makes reference to the local water affordability program, but it mentions no plumbing. And we do know that in the city of Detroit, plumbing is a major issue and also a source of why some water bills are very high. And so we would like to have some information on the number of persons who are enrolled in or have received plumbing services. And also, are these plumbing services still available? Because your webpage is mentioning that Wayne Metro is providing this service. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thank you very much, Ms. McCullough.
Mr. Chair, let me just indicate that the number of shutoffs are increasing, and they will increase even more. There'll be a report at the end of the director's report that's going to walk through some of the rationale as for why they will. We've offered to meet with We the People of Detroit every other week to go through this data set that they're looking for. And I think they're trying to find some dates that would be available to them. We're making ourselves available.
All right.
They're asking for very detailed information that, quite frankly, no one else is asking for. And we're more than happy to share it with anybody, including them. And we will meet with them on a bi-weekly basis to walk through the numbers because they do change daily. Okay. So the offer still stands. We just need them to come up with a regular cadence of meetings so that they feel that they're getting an adequate response from us.
All right, thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have two more callers and then we do have one person who's in person today, but we'll continue with our virtual guest of the public, Williams. D'Amico Williams.
I'm sorry, can you give me the name again?
D'Amico Williams.
D'Amico? Oh, okay. Mr. Williams?
Hi, good afternoon. Can I be heard, please, commissioners?
Good afternoon.
Yes, hi, D'Amico Williams, Chief Executive Director of Hydrate Detroit. I come with greetings and wanted to update you guys with what's going on. Just hearing about the latest information, you know, we don't want shutoffs to happen in the city of Detroit. They should not be increasing. They should be decreasing with all of the help and resources that we have available. As we said before, assistance is not affordability. We have to work towards a solution. So I'm coming with a solution this weekend on Saturday. I'm doing the Share Water donation drive for the Hydrate Detroit organization in partnership with Wayne Metro, with the Michigan Environmental Justice Coalition. Wayne Metro is supposed to be coming by to sign people up for the Lifeline plan and to also provide interest forms for anyone that's seeking to recertify on the Lifeline plan. I've worked with them. This is very awesome to partner up for the third or fourth straight year that we've been involved. And also the Wayne Metro is going to follow up with any citizens that cannot make it to the event but have expressed an interest. This is very important because we want a good turnout of people that is seeking help and also attention. I also thank the DWSD for providing their public relations people to come out and answer any questions should people have some about their water bills. I'm also very happy to hear about the new payment plan that's getting ready to roll out. You know, I still have my thoughts and I will put those in writing just to make sure we cover all the bases so we don't end back up in 10, 30, 50. But I am really working hard to communicate with all neighborhoods, districts, community events. I've been to even clubs and parties where I know that people are going to need help with their water bill come at this summer or September. I really would like the support of this water department to really help to foster good communication, goodwill, and also to help anyone that comes forward that's seeking a need. I want to thank the city of Detroit, certain partners of mine, and also the phenomenal work of the water activists that continue to come up here and to deal with the everyday situations, as well as my supporters, those out there in the world, because this is a national and this is a global issue of water insecurity and access. I will hope to see all of you on Saturday. It's from 12 to 6 at Auntie Nays Community House. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Williams.
Mr. Chair, the next person online is Sonia Brown, also known as Auntie Nay. Ms. Brown.
Ms. Brown?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Everyone? How is everyone this afternoon? May I speak?
Very well, thank you.
First, I'd like to thank Miko Williams and Beulah Walker for their assistance in helping getting the water department out here to help fix the sewer drain systems that was causing so much havoc here on my block and at the village. We were unable to host programs and have events here due to the street continuously flooding after years of complaints and reports. I thank Miko and Beulah for working with the water department to get across the point that this was such a bad issue for me over here. So I am grateful that the water department took their issue seriously. got with Miko and others and came over here and resolved this situation for me. Now, as you just heard Miko speak, I'm able to host events and help support my community. So again, I'd like to thank Miko Williams and Beulah Walker for bringing the attention to the water department that we, the residents, are still enduring such hardships by suffering with our basements flooding and our streets flooding. And I'm hoping that with this collaboration this weekend, we'll be able to bring greater attention to resolving these issues so that we as Detroit will be as great as we know that we can be. Again, I thank you, Miko Williams and Beulah Walker. I am looking forward to working with you, Wayne Metro, as well as the water department and the city of Detroit. Auntie Nay, send out much love to all. I rest.
Thank you very much, Ms. Brown.
Mr. Chair, we have guest in person, Ms. Norrell Hemphill is our first speaker.
Ms. Hemphill, how are you this afternoon?
I just have a letter I just read into the record, pertaining to the
I'm sorry, thank you. I just have a letter that I wanted to read into the record concerning a meeting we had with Matthew Phillips. We, the people of Detroit representatives, appreciate the opportunity to discuss community engagement and the Lifeline program with Matthew Phillips and Deborah Pospish on June 26, 2024. It is our hope that ongoing meetings on these subjects, as well as other topics of community concern, will occur on an as-needed basis. We were able to discuss many topics related to water affordability and current DWSD programs. Please find the topics discussed outlined below. The local water utility affordability program. We asked what type of engagement has been conducted. The program we know is running from April 1st of this year until September 30th of next year. How is that engagement tracked? And what information will be shared with customers? Concerning community outreach and advertising overall, how are residents learning about the local water utility assistance program, especially as far as the plumbing dollars are concerned, and the Detroit Lifeline program, especially as the recertification period is quickly approaching, starting on October 1st. We are finding that there are residents who currently don't know about the local water utility program as well as the Lifeline program. And then also, when will the meetings from May 17, 2023 until June 18, 2024 be available on the YouTube channel of DWSD? Concerning the Lifeline program and community engagement, what's your current community engagement strategy? We would like to suggest the following outreach approaches. More public-facing communication to customers. Notify all customers in their monthly bills. Advertising campaigns conducted by DWSD and Wayne Metro are needed through social media, mail inserts, and websites of both organizations. How often will the Lifeline plan policy be updated? We noticed that this year, community was not engaged in that update process. How often will the community be engaged in this process? And as far as the DWSD key results Lifeline affordability program, we've noticed that that's published, it looks like once a year, particularly the Lifeline tier groups and household sizes. It was presented on 7/8 of this year at the community service meeting. Can this data be disaggregated to show the actual number of residents instead of percentages? Particularly, we would like to see the number of people in each group, the households in each group. How many residents are enrolled in the Lifeline program?
Ms. Hemphill, your time is up. Could you summarize, please?
Yes, I have just 2 more points. Who's preparing this report? And of the 1,400 audits that were done, how many of those people have been referred to the Luau program? Thank you. And
Thank
I do
you.
have a copy of this letter for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, our final public comment guests are Ms. Marshall and Mr. Thomas.
Ms.
Go
Marshall
to
and
the
Mr.
podium.
Thomas, come on down. Good afternoon. How are you?
Afternoon, could be better. Thank you for asking.
That's pretty
Um,
good.
My name's Gabrielle Marshall. I am a investor in the city. I've been an investor since I was 19 years old here. We have had several issues with the water in several different properties and several different neighborhoods and locations that we cannot get addressed. We have a severe issue what's going on now with one of our properties. As far as our tap line is not tied into the sewer. And they're trying to leave, the city is making it my responsibility to pay $10,000 to bust up the street to fix what they did when they demoed the house next door to us. They demoed the house, redid our sidewalk, put speed bumps in, redid the sewer line. The house been built since 1942. I owned the house since 2018. I had tenants there several years that paid rent, paid the water bill, that had water. Now, all of a sudden, there's no water in the property. And we have been calling for 7 months, consistently every day, 3, 4, 5 times a day, and we cannot get anywhere.
All right, Director Brown.
Thank you. When you say they, you said they demoed a
The
house.
city,
The city.
and I guess when they
Okay.
came out to demo the house, they have to
Okay.
take up and, I guess underground disconnect all the,
Okay. So the city did the demo.
yes.
Okay. And you bought the house from
I bought the house from Wayne County Treasurers.
the land bank, the Wayne County Land Bank?
No, not land bank, the
Okay.
tax
An
auction.
auction.
Okay, from the auction.
Yes,
And now the problem is that there's no line connected to the main, to the house?
yes.
Okay.
And this
Okay.
has been 7 months of, we had an issue with the lead line in front of the property first when they redid our sidewalk. They told us that our line was damaged and it was our responsibility. I paid $3,300. Come to find out, the line was just shifted. It was never broken or tampered with, and I had to spend my hard-earned money just to get that done. That was one issue from them doing the sidewalk. Now, the issue with the tap.
So the last few weeks, we've been trying to get somebody out to just locate the tap. Call after call, us tag teaming. She's making the call, I'm making the call. We get the same runaround through phone calls. We'll take the notes down and a supervisor will contact you. We haven't heard from anybody yet.
What's the address?
5555 Woodhall Street. And that's 48224.
Okay, we're going to take a look at it and we're going to get you a letter in writing as to what the response is and try to get you some water.
Please. And like I said, we touched about our basements flooding. We have, I own properties in a lot of different neighborhoods and I'm having this issue in every last one of them. And as soon as the basements flood and my tenants, it leans on me to be my responsibility to pay for this mess up. And it's continuous happening every time it rains. The next day I have phone call after phone call, everyone's house is flooded.
Is it the same house?
Different, I said, I own houses across the entire city, in all different zip codes. And it's this situation in every last one of them, that every time it rains, it backs up in their basements.
Commissioner Kinlock.
Okay, Mr. Director, so you did provide the addresses as relates to the homes that or your properties that you're stating that you're having this issue?
Say it one more time.
You have provided the addresses of each of the properties that you're saying that you're having these issues with?
I have called in and complained. verbally.
I'm asking Director if you would get the addresses and, just have someone.
We're going to take a look at it, but this body knows very well
Absolutely.
that a lot of these homes, the service line was cut because the house was going to be demolished.
Correct.
And it wasn't demolished, it was sold
Mhm.
by either Wayne County or the city's land bank.
Mhm.
But it was scheduled to be demolished.
Correct.
And
right.
so the lines were cut. And they purchased the house in which,
You're going to take a look at,
yeah, we will.
okay,
But when I purchased that home, I said in 2018, it was a lady living there when I bought her home. And she had running water and
Mhm.
she was operating in her home. She got mad and flooded the basement when she had to get evicted. So there was warning water before the demo got next door, before the speed bumps and that sidewalk got redone. She had water.
Okay, we're gonna take a look
Okay.
and get your response in writing.
Okay.
Could we get a list of every property that you have a concern on?
Sure can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Mr.
very
Director,
much.
If I could have Ms. Marshall meet with a member of customer service that's right there waiting for him to get the property addresses.
Mr. Chair, we missed one person on Zoom and her name is Beulah Walker. She's our last public commenter, sir.
All right. Ms. Walker.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
May I be heard?
You have the floor.
Hello, honorable body. Thank you, Mr. Peckinpah, for acknowledging my hand. Hello, Director Brown. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
I love your picture. You at the White House. It looks so good on you. I'm so proud of you, young man.
Thank you. Thank you very
Listen,
much.
I so happen to get off work early, so I am joining by Zoom today. And I also want to let you all know that you are on live on YouTube and I am sharing. I also want to let the Board of Water Commissioners know I just got off the phone with Matthew Phillips with the issue. And I appreciate Detroit Water and Sewage Department, Board of Water Commissioners, Director Brown, his staff, and everybody down there for always taking Hydrate Detroit phone calls. And now I will sit on Zoom and watch and take notes and love everybody. Love, love, love.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Walker.
Mr. Chair, that is the last commenter, but we did want to let you know that the YouTube Live, as soon as it's recorded live of our meeting, it's also available after the meeting at any point in time for people to watch our meeting.
So we will be available for eternity. Well, I guess what happens in this room does not stay in this room. We're a public body. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? Anyone else like to address the board? All right, well, thank you very much. Let us move on to item 6, communications. There is none. Item 7, any items from the commissioners? Commissioners? All right. Hearing none. We come to the approval of the consent agenda. Number 8, I said unfinished business. We have none. Is there any unfinished business? Okay. Item 9, approval of the consent agenda, items A through J. As we all know, the consent agenda consists of items that were considered in detail at the committee level, primarily from our finance committee, and we're taking them as a group. However, the consent agenda requires unanimous consent. And so I'll ask, does any commissioner wish to take any item off of the consent agenda to be considered individually? All right, hearing none. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Forte moves.
Support.
Commissioner Coleman seconds. Any discussion of items I through J? And I mean, I will make the observation, we're spending a lot of money with this one motion, but it has been thoroughly reviewed at the committee level and people are re-reviewing it right now. Right. Hearing no discussions, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? And that is adopted unanimously. New business, there is none. So we come to the director's metrics. Mr. Director?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'm going to let Mr. Smalley go through the metrics.
If you could pull the PowerPoint up on the screen, please. Quality, or you want me to do that?
Yeah, you can do it.
Just as an informational item, our water quality report for 2023 is now available on our website. You can also request a copy by mail if you email DWSD-publicaffairs@detroitmi.gov, or you can call 267-8000 for a copy. Next. And by the way, just to reinforce, we met all state and federal standards. And we were compliant with our lead and copper again. And we're also right in the middle of our lead and copper sampling for this current year. Fire hydrants, we remain very high operability. As of the end of June, we had 134 inoperable. That's less than 1/2%. Next. The number of running services, we can't stop things from leaking as they're 100 years old, but we have been very responsive, fixing most of those within 24 to 48 hours. Next. Water main breaks increased between the months of May and June due to increased usage with higher temperatures. But our crews, our men and women out there are being very responsive, fixing the vast majority of those within 4 days. Next. Our catch basin cleaning and inspection program is still humming along. As of Monday, we had cleaned approximately 4,200 catch basins. Our team has a goal of cleaning 8,000 catch basins this calendar year. Next.
Question?
Yes.
Sir, I wanted to ask, because last week there was a lot of rain and a lot of cars got stuck around the Livernois and Jefferson, wherever the viaducts are down. I think people just don't know how deep the water is. And so a lot of people got stuck that last week before I left. And I saw that some of the cars, if you know the back streets, you don't get stuck, but there was a lot of them. So are those areas that have a lot of truck traffic? Obviously, Livernois is a main thing for the two freeways, 94 and 75. And Junction, not so much on Michigan and Clark Street, but definitely those three. Is there a cleaning process there that can help people? Because I see that you're doing a lot at the residential, and that's important because our streets were flooded for 2 days in front of my house and nothing flooded in the basement, but it took a while for it to go down. But I'm more worried about the area of the Livernois and Clark, because I saw a lot of people got stuck and they ruined their cars because they don't have any sense. They go through that water. But is that in the plan as well, sir? Do you know?
Thank you, Commissioner Garcia. So whenever we have forecasted rain, our sewer division goes on storm footing. We have the Vactors, the combination sewer cleaning vacuum machines. We have usually 6 to 7 of them available for service when a storm hits. We have our investigators who we know where the viaducts are, and we routinely visit those. The problem with the viaducts is the lack of vegetation either on the railroad tracks or on the slopes. All of that soil will come down and cover the catch basin covers, the debris covers them. That's what causes it. We do coordinate with the General Services Department and DPW, and they graciously lend us their assistance to help wipe that debris off of those covers so that they can drain. So we do regularly check those. They are on our cleaning schedule, but it's just almost impossible to stop them because of the poor vegetation in those right-of-ways above where the viaducts are. So we do check those regularly.
So are they checked before the storms hit, or are they checked when the storms hit, or how is that done? Because if you know that there's a lot of things that clog it up, I mean, those are really problem areas, I think. I mean, there may be some other areas in the city, but I see that because it's right in my backyard. But I just wondered, is there anything that will help it for the future as you're getting the residents up to par?
There's 90,000 catch basins across the city. We're trying to show all of them the appropriate amount of attention. We do visit the viaducts regularly. We've been struggling with those for the last 40 years. So we do visit those during the storms, and we try to catch them, but it's out of our control what the railroads and other right-of-way owners do with not having it properly vegetated or protected from sediment erosion.
Well, maybe the suggestion is, Mr. Director, is to deal with the city and ask them to come to the table so they can take care of their part. So it doesn't, they don't blame just the water department. Obviously, if it, and it's mostly, I know the railroad is right above it. So I think it's important that we, a little call from the mayor's office always helps a little bit. So, and you could call them up and come, bring them to the table and tell them that, monthly, or at least when the weather's going to be like this, so that you don't have as many complaints about the water flooding, because whatever affects Livernois Junction, Lanyo, it affects the residents as well. So I would imagine if you could do that, that may help.
I can do that.
Thank you.
Okay, next slide. Equally, if not more important than cleaning the catch basins, is getting the sewers cleaned. Because once the water gets into a catch basin, it has to have somewhere to go. So our sewer team has committed, they cleaned over 500 miles of sewer last year, and this year's goal is 600 miles. As of Monday, we're at 330 miles, so we're on pace to meet that goal. Just as a reminder, we have 2,400 miles of sewer, 24 inches and smaller in diameter, that our crews can maintain. So that'll put us on about a 4 to 5 year rotation to clean the entire sewer system throughout the city of Detroit. Next. For the meter operations group, we're running just over about 60% success rate with our schedule. We're able to complete those evolutions. We are working with customer service and others on ways to improve our success rate. Next slide. The majority of issues that causes failures of meter appointments are either no access or plumbing issues. We do have plumbers that we provide. We will do minor repairs at the meter assembly, and we're adding additional resources, plumbing resources, to further increase the number of meters that we can help. Next. Real estate reads. We do schedule these. The wait time is less than a week to have a real estate read, but if a customer wants an in-person read, they have to be there in order for us to do a physical read of the meter, which leads to the backlog that we currently have. Next. Our revenue protection team continues not only with investigations, but they're also a key element in our non-revenue water, finding vacant abandoned houses where water may be running. They do a preliminary investigation. They're looking at our night leaker report, helping with that. And since 2017, they have helped to either bring in or avoid the expense of over $44 million. Next. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Nakia Branch Penson, Deputy General Counsel. Just as an update for the Office of General Counsel, we did resolve 2 cases in the month of June. We're currently handling 25 cases, including those that are collection actions and those that are being defended that were filed against the City of Detroit's Water and Sewage Department. We have 222 pending damage claims that we are currently reviewing and processing. And that's our update for the month.
Mr. Chair, our update from Public Affairs is that our Facebook followers are growing significantly, 42 new followers this month. And our new followers on Instagram, which Instagram's continuing to get a lot of traffic, is 24 new followers. Our top post on social media, specifically on Facebook, was when we post a vintage photo of the Board of Water Commissioners in a wagon delivering water to a residential neighborhood. And then our top of Instagram post was a Do It Now, Save Money campaign, which is very timely because Deputy Director Sam Smalley did an interview yesterday with Channel 4 about not flushing wipes down the toilet and what that can cause to sewer lines. And they also interviewed a plumber who backed up everything the water department always says about not flushing wipes into your down your toilet. Only flush the 3 Ps. So that story is well received, and we will send it to the Board of Water Commissioners so you can see that Channel 4 story as well, and we're posting it on social media. Next one. Well, here you see Mr. Matt Phillips, our Chief of Staff and Chief Customer Service Officer, talking about a private plumbing issue with Help Me Hank from Channel 4. We had 3 neutral stories last month, and one of them was this Channel 4 story because it is a private issue. It was not caused by DWSD. And the other 2 stories were involving the Great Lakes Water Authority Regional System involving DWSD. Thank you.
I think that concludes our report.
Mr. Chair, I'm gonna ask Mr. Phillips to come to the microphone. You have a draft PowerPoint in front of you. It's called Easy Pay. It's a program that we will not be rolling out until the 1st of next month, but I wanted you to get an opportunity to at least get a preview of the program so that if you have comments or changes, you'll be asked to approve the policy towards the end of the month. And we're also asking advocates such as We the People of Detroit and D'Amico's organization to get feedback to us on the policy before it's finalized. But again, I want to emphasize that it's not out there live right now. People won't be able to get into the program until this board approves the policy. And that's not going to be for at least another couple of weeks. But I didn't want to give it to you at the end of the month. You only have a day to look at it and then ask you to approve something that's going to be a game changer, I believe, with regards to collections. Again, everybody knows Lifeline. Lifeline is a program for our disadvantaged customers, economically disadvantaged customers. This program is for anyone that it's not based on economics. You can make $100,000, but you also have a need to have a program. And my staff and I, we strongly believe that 10-30-50 does not work, that it's too hard to come up with 10%, 30%, or 50%. And the proof is in the pudding in that we only have 3,000 people in 10-30-50. So we're going to get rid of 10-30-50. Easy Pay is going to replace it. And as you'll see in Matt's presentation, we expect 30,000 customers to be in this program in a very short period of time, which will be a good thing.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
can move
Commissioner
approval.
Gidlock.
I'm just joking. I just read it. Great program.
Yeah. Okay, Matt.
All right, thank you very much, commissioners. I have to mute that. All right, so I'd like to introduce to you the DWSD Easy Pay program. Hopefully the word easy makes it easy to say, as well as the $10 down is right in our logo. Can you hear me okay? A little closer. How about now? Is that any better? Sorry, it's up for taller people. All right, one of the things that I want to just point out about the Easy Pay program is that it is intended for those that can pay and have not been paying in the past. This is not for low-income customers, although it certainly does apply, but we do have the Lifeline program that is already in place and will remain in place. This is not replacing it in any way, shape, or form for those that are low income. And so since the pandemic started, the Detroit Water and Sewage Department has 186,000 accounts that are currently at least 60 days past due, owing millions at this point in time. The Easy Pay program is going to be, we're making it so it's easy to understand and easy to enroll. It's going to have a low monthly down or a low down payment, low monthly payment, so it's affordable. We need to make it habit forming. In other words, we need our customers to start paying every month. And unfortunately, right now, that has not been happening. It's been a while since we've done any type of mass shutoffs. Not that we're looking to do that, but we need our customers to make payments. It's available to all customer classes, whether you're faith-based, you're a church, industrial, commercial, residential, all customer classes are included. And we're trying to make this program so there's absolutely no barriers or excuses to enter into the program. No one should be subject to a shutoff if you're in the Easy Pay program. And right now, the average residential customer owes $1,240 throughout the city. And so how does it work other than what I just explained? It's any customer that's got a past due balance can currently enroll in the program with just $10 down. That's it. Couch cushions, whatever you need to do, $10. The rest of your balance will be spread out over 36 months. Which is something we haven't done. The 10-30-50 program was 10%, 30%, or 50% down. And the vast majority of our residential accounts were spread out over 12 months. So this is moving it out to 36 months. There's no income requirements. Doesn't matter how much money you make, you're eligible for the program. It's interest-free during the entire 36 months that you're on the program. And as long as you're current on your bill, you're protected from shut-off and penalties. Any questions before I move forward?
I think, Matt, it's probably coming up on the next slide, but I just want to emphasize, this is for residential, churches, nonprofits, commercial, industrial, everybody.
Question?
Yes, Commissioner Garcia.
Yes, this is a plan that's in addition to Lifeline, am I correct, Matt? Because it's a new kind of a plan.
Yes, I'll make it.
And that may not, the people that are behind may not be eligible for the Lifeline, is that it?
That's exactly it.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what I gather because.
Lifeline is not going away. It
Okay.
is still in
The-
place.
the-
This is
the-
not
The
replacing.
bill is not going away. They have a chance to be connected, stay connected, and pay as little as $10 a month to continue having service. Am I correct? No, $10 down and then the monthly cost.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, Commissioner Garcia, I will, right now, we can see that in real time.
Okay?
Okay, I can explain
No,
that.
I just wanted to grab it because I think this is a chance that people can pay their bill. $34 a month it seems reasonable unless they have no income. And if they don't have no income, we can refer them somewhere else.
Then they should be on the Lifeline program.
Okay, that's what I wanted to get, Matt.
Yep,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Yep, again, this is not for our low-income customers.
No.
Although it can be, but most of our low-income customers, the Lifeline program's been around for 2 years now. Hopefully they've had an opportunity to get onto Lifeline for the $18 a month payment. But other than that, if you can pay, you need to get on this program.
So, and I guess my question is, Mr. Director, to you is that nobody has been shut off.
There are shut-offs taking place now. So it's not true that no one's been shut off. We're working in high income neighborhoods, Palmer Woods.
But before, even after they get shut off, there was a plan for them if they come in and come up with a plan. Am I,
The
I
plan,
mean,
the
that
plan
seems
was,
to
the
be,
plan was 10-30-50, but they're having a hard time coming up with 30% of what they
Okay.
owe. And so we want to give them, instead of giving them 6 months to get caught up, we want to give them 3 years.
yes,
We want to prorate their balance by 36 months
okay.
and $10 down as opposed to 10% or 30% or 50%. And we only have 3,000 of our customers
okay.
in that program, which
Right.
shows it's not working. And Matt could tell you that most people fall out of it after 90 days.
Okay.
And so it doesn't work. We want to replace it with something that's working around the country. And
It's an
other
ongoing
utilities-
plan, obviously. Thank you.
Commissioner Kinlaw?
Okay, Mr. Chair, or do you want me to wait till after he finishes the presentation to continue?
I think at least this next slide.
Okay.
Will
Okay,
really put things in.
because I had some
Yeah.
questions following up on.
Sure. Thank you very much. Just real quick, just the way it works is the first month that you call us and enter into Easy Pay, say, I want to get on Easy Pay, it's $10. There's no other payment we're asking anybody for. In fact, we're going to give you 10 days to make that $10 payment. You can go to a kiosk, you can call us on the phone, you can go through the IVR, you can go to a DivDat kiosk. There's over 50 of those within the city. You can go right out there, make your $10 payment within 10 days. It'll activate the program. That's all you owe month one. Month 2 through 36, we'll take whatever balance is due. In this case, the average is $12.40. We'll divide that over 36 months. Your installment plan is $34.17. Currently, the average installment plan is $125. So we're significantly cutting what our current payment plan looks like by 75%, down to 34 bucks a month. The average water bill for residential customers within the city is $88. We put the two together, it's $122 a month from month 2 through month 36. When we look across the country and look at the top 10 cities that are similar to Detroit, Baltimore, Seattle, Philadelphia, their average water bill without an installment plan, just their average water bill is $122 to $180 a month. So still at 120 bucks a month for your payment plan and your monthly bill, we're still keeping under what the average is throughout the country for similar sized cities. So this was also a win for us as well. Any questions about how the payment plan works?
Yes, Commissioner Forte.
Yeah, so I see how the, number one, kudos, I like this. But my question is, you have someone say in month 4 with $122.17 payment, but they fall behind.
Yep.
So when does the water shut off come?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And we've actually we've really spent the last 4 to 6 months reviewing other cities across the United States. And there are similar programs that have come about. So when we first started this, we said maybe it's 50 bucks people should put down. Gary said, let's just make it 0. Let's make it easy. When we looked across the country, that's how we landed on $10. So that's number one. So we have done the research to see what actually works. But we do have different phases to the program. I wasn't planning on getting into them today, but there are options that we have for our customers when they fall off. In fact, when you're 60 days past due, that's what triggers a water interruption. Customer can call us, reach out to us within that first 60 days and let us know that they're not able to make that payment or they missed the payment. Maybe they just forgot. And we have a way for them to get back on. In fact, we've made it super easy. They only have to make up their installment plan. They don't have to make up their entire water bill. So that's kind of like your first strike, if you want to make that. We're calling it phase 1. And you can just pay, in fact, in this case, it would be $70. And then we'll recalculate your balance due over the next 36 months. So we'll kind of start you almost fresh again, but you got to make up the installment plan. And then the next phase that happens, then we're going to ask you, if you miss it again, we're going to ask you to make up everything that you were past due. But our goal is not to let anybody get past 60 days, not let this get out of control. Not where we're at today, where we have some customers that haven't paid for months. And then they'll still get a shut-off notice. So they'll still have the 10-day notice that we have today. In fact, we've already changed and we'll be changing all of our door hangers that go out there for the 10-day notices of service interruption to let them know there are options besides Lifeline. There's also Easy Pay, putting QR codes on there so they can scan it with their phone, get right into the portal, right into call us. So we have almost 3 strikes before we'll actually shut your water off. As long as you contact us and let us know you're willing to work with us. As Director Brown always says, call us, let us know, we'll work with you.
All right. My observation is whenever a lot of people deal with installment loans, whether it's a car loan or even a mortgage, the first question they ask are how much are the payments? That's not the first question you should be asking. It's how much is the principal, and more importantly, how much is the interest? And so the fact that this is a no interest, it means 100% of every payment is going to principal. Now, my thought about that, interest, of course, becomes an incentive to pay rather than let it accumulate. But I think given these ratepayers, I don't think interest would be much of an incentive anyways. So we always believe that service interruption should be an absolute last resort. And, you know, I like this idea. And I've heard the director say, anybody who faces a shutoff one of the things we can say about it is they didn't talk to us. And so if getting a door hanger that says your service is about to be interrupted creates an opportunity to open up communication, I think that's a good thing. So I like this plan, Mr. Brown and Mr. Phillips. I think it's a very good idea.
I think we got a few metrics that we're hoping to go through.
Yep, I'll just, we'll wrap this up, just letting you know that we've obviously fully vetted this. We've thought about it quite a bit. We've done our research, and one of the things that in comparison to other cities, we do have some goals set up for this program. We want to enroll 30,000 accounts within the next 12 months. As Director Brown mentioned earlier, our current payment plan program has less than 4,000 on it with a compliancy rate of less than 10% in 90 days stay on it. Our goal is to have 70% compliance rate for the entire 36 months. And one of the keys to success that we've learned throughout the country in our research is that targeted communication is going to be the key to our success and our customer success. We have to constantly and consistently reach out to our customers to let them know when their payment is due, that it's coming to be due, and also give them an opportunity to get back into the program without waiting too long. We want, in fact, one of the things that a vendor that we've spoken to that's done this in a dozen other cities across the US is that their communication with customers finds out that 20% of every customer that misses their payment within 1 hour of the reminder, 20% of those customers pay. 50% pay within the first 7 days, and 83% recover before the next bill is due. Those are some really hefty metrics for us to hit. I have a colleague in Richmond, Virginia that started this program 6 months ago. They currently have 25,000 people in the program in 6 months, and they've already collected over $12 million.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. I think that I'm open for any questions that anybody has.
Commissioner Forte.
Yeah, just one other question. So the KPI of 30,000 accounts in 12 months, that's about 16% of our current number of customers that are past due 60 days or more.
Great question.
That seems low to me. How did you land on that KPI?
So we landed at that KPI based on other cities across the US. One of the things that we're expecting to happen that has happened in other cities is that the vast majority of your customers can pay and will pay when they know that there's a consequence. And for the last 4.5 years, we haven't had a consequence. So there hasn't been any service interruptions since the pandemic started. And I think the vast majority of our customers can pay and they will show up. So I know when you're looking at 30,000 saying, wait, we have 186,000 that need to pay, I think most of those customers will come forward and make payments in full.
So said another way, this KPI for 30,000 accounts may be on the very light side.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Yeah, so the 30,000 KPI for 12 months, based on what you anticipate, you're right. I mean, it would be very light, right? You expect far more to enroll than 30,000 accounts.
I expect there to be much more than 30,000 accounts in the next 12 months, yes.
In Lifeline, I think we had 30,000 within 4 months. So you're right, it is a light number, but we just can't gauge how many people will just come into compliance without getting into the plan. We've also been told that a lot of people are going to pay way more than is required in the plan. What we're trying to do is get people back into the habit of paying. We got to show them where the kiosks are and get them back to go stick $10 in that kiosk machine and get back on a regular paying schedule.
Is that what's meant by bring on a third-party vendor?
Yeah, the third-party vendor is to get into this program, you have to give us a valid telephone number that we can text you. You have to give us a valid email address where we can contact you. Because I was saying this earlier today. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. 3 days ago, I got an email saying, don't forget your appointment. And then the next day I got a text saying, don't forget your appointment. And then when I didn't respond to the text by pushing 1, I got a phone call and said, don't forget your appointment. That's the type of hand holding that our staff in collections doesn't have the time to do
Right.
or the expertise to do. So we're, and let me say this, that Issachar is trying that as a pilot. He's got, I don't know, 5 or 6 people that are trying to do that type of engagement now to see, just as a pilot, just to see how we can get it done. And so it may be a combination of, yes, we are doing some of it, but we know in the beginning, this is going to be overwhelming with the phone calls that are going to come in for, to get into this program. Getting that information, it doesn't make sense right now to sign a contract with a company when we can't give them the data they're going to need in order to stay in contact. So it's going to be very important when you enroll that we verify, just like, you know, I called AT&T and then I have to give them an email address and then they have to send me back a code to make sure that I can, you know, verify, get a verification code to go. We have to make sure we have good contact information, or that's what will make the program successful. So,
Commissioner Garcia.
along with, we got to let them, you know, we got to get, we're not there yet, but we're close. We got to let them pick the day that they want to pay their bill. We got to let them use Venmo. We got to let them use PayPal. We got to use every other avenue that our customers today are using in order to make this easy for them to make payments. Right now,
It says easy.
we were the first, certainly in the city, to use DivDat machines. The rest of the city is using it. But now that technology, we're falling behind. And so we've got to keep up with the technology because our customers are using it in other areas to pay their bills, and we want to make sure they have it available to pay our bill, to make it easy.
What's the estimated start date?
The 29th of this month is when I intend to roll it out publicly at a charter committee meeting, get the board to approve it, and then very early August.
Right, Commissioner Garcia first,
Yeah,
and Commissioner
so,
Kinlock.
Matthew, we have 30,000 residents or 30,000 households already been notified of this, or no, not yet? Okay, and you think that you have a target number of 30,000?
Correct.
Okay, and so I guess the thing is, how will you educate these people? How will you inform them? Is it in their bill or?
Well, I'm gonna do the editorial boards. I'm gonna do radio, television. We're gonna roll this out with a full
Okay.
campaign.
Okay, so this will be a new plan and this will be a new campaign for this, for people to be eligible, and it's a process for them. They have to follow the process. Okay, and it's going to be on your website once everything is settled, and then that way, okay.
Commissioner
Thank you.
Garcia, it's going to be the simplest process I think we've ever had. All you have to do is call us or go to a DivDat station or go online and say easy pay. Pay $10 and you're in. That's it. There's no application. There's nothing else to it.
That sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And again, churches, nonprofits, commercial, industrial, everyone. There are some exceptions that I won't go into, but this might not work if you owe more than $100,000. I mean, we may have to have a different arrangement for you, but because we don't want to set anybody up for failure. We want to make sure we're setting people up to succeed.
Well,
Commissioner
for one-
Kinlock.
For one, I would like to help, especially with some of our agencies in our community.
Mhm.
I would like to assist, okay?
Okay?
And
Yeah,
I think we should
absolutely.
ask the other nonprofits as well to see if because they, that way you help them, at least you give them another program to work with.
Yes.
I know from the report, we've caught some people stealing our water and that they have to pay a mighty big check to pay it back. Are they eligible? That's an exception.
They're gonna be some exceptions, people that
That's an
have,
exception.
negotiated a facilitated, agreement. We're not gonna deviate from that.
Gotcha. Commissioner Kinlock. Oh, okay. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Mr. Phillips. This was very comprehensive, and I think it's a very, very positive step forward.
Thank you all.
Next, we go to item 12, comments from commissioners. Any commissioners have any comments to make? Commissioner Kinlock?
No.
Oh, Commissioner Garcia.
Yes, as for the record, I would like to go on record, thanking Mr. Matt Phillips for all his help. Sarah Lassette on Scotton and Burner actually had a pipe that broke. And on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. And we were able to get a hold, and poor Matt was on vacation, and he still was able to assist and send somebody out there to help us. In fact, a plumber that came out also helped. So I just want, and that's real difficult. I don't think people understand how difficult it is on Saturday and Sunday and Monday to get something done in the city of Detroit, because you have to have a permit, which we didn't know we could just fix the pipe. No, you cannot just fix the pipe. You actually have to have a permit and an inspector to come out. So it was a really big issue for a small agency. And Matt and all his people all his team were so helpful. Because we had a flood in the city, on Scotton. So I just wanted to make sure that they turned off the water while they could do the fixing, but they also helped out making sure whoever was there, helped them out getting through the city so that we were able to have service and have the agency back and running on Tuesday morning. So, and that was a big help, Matt. So I wanted to go on record saying, muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much, because the agency was able to continue to provide services. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gar. I don't think it's working. Commissioner Garcia, I just want to make a comment. I appreciate it. Yes, answering the phone is my job. That's what I do. But to be honest with you, I didn't do anything other than answer the phone. It's the men and women of DWSD that are working on Saturdays and Sundays that when I make that phone call, they jump on it, they drive out there, they're working in the heat and in the rain to make things happen. So that's where the thank yous go, is directly to them. Thank you very much. And I will make sure they understand that. Thank you.
Any other comments from commissioners? Hearing none, comments from the chair, I have none. Are there any matters to come before the July meeting of the Board of Commissioners? Hearing none, a motion
Adjournment.
to adjourn. Commissioner Kinlock moves. Is there support? Commissioner Coleman, all those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. And that is adopted unanimously. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good week.